So this is the iPhone 15 Pro, and we're in late 2025. The iPhone 17 Pro is officially out, and you know the hype train has long left the station for this one. But here's the thing, this phone and its bigger sibling, the 15 Pro Max, represents a really unique moment in Apple's history. It was the start of the titanium era, an era that funnily enough has already ended with the new iPhone 17 Pro going back to aluminum. So that makes this device feel kinda special actually. I've been using this as my main phone since November 2023. It's been my daily driver for everything. And a few days ago, I installed the new public release of iOS 26, and honestly, I was so excited to see how it would run that it inspired me to make this video. So today we're going to be reviewing this iPhone. We'll cover the design, the performance with real-world use and benchmarks, the battery reality after 2 years, the cameras, and of course, a big discussion on my experience with iOS 26. We're going to figure out if this phone is still a smart buy today, or if you should keep it, or if it's finally time to upgrade. Let's get right into it. Alright, so what was so special about the 15 Pro when it first came out? Well, there were 3 big things for me that are still super relevant. First, the A17 Pro chip. This was Apple's first 3nm chip, and it was a powerhouse for mobile gaming and pro-level tasks. Second, this titanium frame. It made the phone noticeably lighter than its predecessors, which was a huge quality of life win. And third, the action button, which replaced the mute switch. It's something I use every single day. One of the biggest selling points was this grade 5 titanium frame, and after 2 years of being my daily driver, I have to say it's held up beautifully. This is the natural titanium color, and the brush texture does a much better job hiding fingerprints and micro scratches than the old polished stainless steel ever did. But the real long-term win here is the feel. Those contoured edges and the noticeable weight reduction. I mean, it just makes the phone so much more comfortable to hold. This is one of those things that's hard to appreciate until you've lived with it. When I pick up an older 14 Pro now, it genuinely feels like a heavy, sharp-edged brick in comparison. It's a small thing that makes a huge difference every single day, and it's a real reason why this design has aged so well. Now the display, it's 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display with ProMotion, and you know what? It's still fantastic. The colors are great. It gets incredibly bright outdoors up to 2000 nits, which is still plenty. And that 120Hz adaptive refresh rate still makes everything from scrolling to gaming feel buttery smooth. The bezels were the thinnest on an iPhone back then, and honestly, they still look modern. It doesn't feel dated at all. Under the hood, we've got the A17 Pro chip, the first 3nm chip in a smartphone. So how does it hold up in late 2025? Well, I ran Geekbench 6, and my unit scored 2,829 on single core and 7,272 on multi-core. But numbers are just numbers. What it feels like is fast. Apps open instantly, swiping between them is smooth, and there's just no lag in the UI, especially with the beautiful new animations in iOS 26. For day-to-day stuff, this phone is still absolutely flying. But you know, the processor is only half the story. The real secret sauce for longevity here is the 8GB of RAM. I can't stress this enough. When I re-review older iPhones like the 13 Pro or 14 Pro with their 6GB of RAM, I sometimes or constantly see apps reloading in the background. You switch from Instagram to gaming and then Safari, and when you come back, Instagram has to refresh. It's frustrating. With 8GB on the 15 Pro, that just doesn't happen nearly as often. Apps stay in memory, and multitasking is just so much better. This is a huge quality of life improvement that keeps the phone feeling capable and modern. And of course, I do a lot of gaming. I've been playing PUBG Mobile on this, and it's a fantastic experience. With all the settings unlocked, it runs incredibly well. The A17 Pro's GPU was a huge leap, and it still handles even the most demanding games with ease. But we have to be honest here, when you push it hard, especially for over an hour of gaming, it does get pretty warm. Not uncomfortably hot, but you'll definitely notice it. The titanium frame is not designed to help dissipate heat as aluminum, but it's still a very powerful chip in a compact body. It's a trade-off, but the performance you get is, for me, absolutely worth it. Alright, let's talk about the battery. This is probably the biggest concern for anyone buying a used phone. So full disclosure, I got this phone in November 2023. It's now late 2025, and after 442 charge cycles, my battery health is at 87%. Now, I've looked through forums, and this seems pretty typical. Some people are a bit lower, some a bit higher, but it's in the ballpark. A drop of about 10-15% after 2 years of solid use is realistic. So what does 87% actually mean day to day? For me, as a moderate to heavy user, it means I can still get through a full day, but just barely. If I start my day at 8 AM with some social media, emails, maybe an hour of YouTube, and a couple of games of PUBG, I'm usually looking for a charger by 9 or 10 PM. It's not the 2-day battery beast. It was out of the box, and that's something you have to be prepared for. However, iOS 26 did bring a new feature that's been helping. It's called adaptive power. Basically, the phone learns your usage patterns, and on days it predicts you'll be using it more. It subtly adjusts things like screen brightness to help you stretch the battery. It's hard to quantify, but I do feel like I've noticed a slight improvement since turning it on. It's a smart software solution to an inevitable hardware problem. Quickly, on the main and ultra-wide cameras, they're the same on both the Pro and Pro Max, and they are still fantastic. The 48 megapixel main sensor, which defaults to a super high-res 24 megapixel image, captures incredible detail. Colors are great. Low light performance is solid thanks to the Photonic engine. For 90% of your shots, this system is still pro grade. But the big difference, and the one people on forums always debate, is the telephoto lens. My 15 Pro has the 3x optical zoom, which is a 77mm equivalent. The 15 Pro Max has a 5x optical zoom, 120mm equivalent. So which is better? Well, it's a classic trade-off. The 3x on the standard Pro is perfect for portraits. It's a very flattering focal length that gives you beautiful compression without having to stand miles away from your subject. But if you want to shoot something far away, you're relying on digital zoom past 3x. The 5x on the Pro Max is incredible for getting close to distant action, but it creates what users call a zoom gap. Anything between 2x and 4.9x is purely digital zoom from the main sensor, and the quality can be noticeably softer. So if you shoot a lot of portraits, the 15 Pro is arguably more versatile. If you're always trying to capture things from far away, the Pro Max has the edge. For this review, I'm focusing on the Pro, but it's a key difference to be aware of. Okay, let's talk about the single biggest reason this phone feels new again. iOS 26. Apple calls the new design liquid glass, and it's a total overhaul. You can see it everywhere. The lock screen, control center, even app icons. Elements are translucent, they have these fluid real-time animations, and they react to your movement. It's hard to describe, but it just makes the whole OS feel more alive and, well, premium. I really appreciate this update from Apple. I mean, it makes older versions like iOS 18 feel completely flat and dated by comparison. It's like I'm used to this new liquidy, glassy feel, and going back is just jarring. Beyond the looks, it's also been incredibly smooth. The new animations are fluid, and I've run into very few bugs on this stable release. Now, I will say, for the first day or so after updating, the phone did run a bit warmer than usual. But that's pretty normal. The phone is re-indexing all of your files for the new system and search features. After about a day, it settled down completely and has been running cool ever since. Now, iOS 26 also brings the full suite of Apple Intelligence features to the 15 Pro thanks to that A17 Pro chip, and it's fine. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, it's not a really great AI like the competitors. It's cool for some on-device tasks, but right now, Apple Intelligence is still in its early stages. It feels a bit like a beta. When I need to do some serious AI-powered work, I'm still turning to more powerful alternatives like Gemini or ChatGPT. So, is it nice to have? Yes. Is it a reason to buy this phone over another? In my opinion, not yet. The fact that this phone supports it is the important part for future-proofing, but the current implementation isn't a must-have. So before we get to the final verdict, let's be real about the downsides. First, as we discussed, the battery will have degraded. You're not getting a brand new battery. And a replacement from Apple will cost you. Second, the resale value. In late 2025, an iPhone 15 Pro is not holding its value like it used to. You can probably pick one up for around $500 to $600, but don't expect to sell it for much more than that a year later. And finally, there's the march of technology. The new iPhone 17 Pro is already make huge upgrade. Also with regular 17 having promotion features that make regular iPhone now more like a Pro. As you know, the 17 Pro is shaping up to be a monster with a faster chip, more RAM with 12 gigs, a crazy new 8x zoom, and even a vapor chamber for better cooling. This is the kind of leap that might be worth waiting for if you absolutely need the best of the best. So who should buy the iPhone 15 Pro in late 2025? If you're on an iPhone 13 or older, yes, absolutely. This is a massive upgrade in every single way. The performance, the display, the titanium design, the USB-C port, it will feel like a generational leap. If you're a current 15 Pro owner, just keep your phone. iOS 26 has given it a new lease on life. Unless you have a specific need for the 17 Pro's camera, there's no compelling reason to upgrade yet. And if you're looking for a great value flagship, this is the sweet spot. You're getting a true pro iPhone experience with a fantastic screen, powerful chip, and premium build for what is now a mid-range price. Just be realistic about the battery and maybe budget for a replacement down the line. So is the iPhone 15 Pro still worth it 2 years later? For the right person, it's more than worth it. It's one of the smartest buys on the market. It's a testament to how good Apple's hardware is and a showcase for how transformative a great software update can be. But what do you guys think? Are you using a 15 Pro? Are you thinking of buying one? Let me know your experience in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, a like and subscribe would be amazing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.